What if I told you that a handful of cranberries, a little sugar, and a few minutes on the stove could create the smoothest, most vibrant puree you've ever tasted? Whether you need a tangy boost for buttercream, a sauce for desserts, or a secret ingredient for your next cocktail, this cranberry puree is a game changer. And the best part, it's ridiculously easy. Let's get started. I always prefer using fresh cranberries because they provide the best tartness and vibrant color. But if fresh cranberries aren't available, frozen ones work just as well. Just be sure to thaw and drain them first to prevent excess liquid from watering down the puree. I start by washing 1 cup of fresh cranberries and sorting through them, removing any that are soft or shriveled. Next, I add the cleaned cranberries to a small saucepan. Then I add 2 to 3 tablespoons of water to help the cranberries cook down smoothly. I pour in 2 tablespoons of granulated sugar to help balance the tartness. I cook everything over medium heat, stirring occasionally until the cranberries burst and soften. This usually takes about 5 minutes. Oh, and before you even think about turning on the stove, we need to prep these cranberries. No one wants mystery bits in their puree, right? I start by washing fresh cranberries under cold running water. This helps remove any dirt or residue and keeps the puree clean and fresh. Next, I do a little quality control, picking out any soft, shriveled, or discolored berries. Only the best cranberries make the cut. Think of it as an audition, and only the plumpest, juiciest ones get the job. If I'm using frozen cranberries, I make sure to thaw them completely and drain any excess liquid. Trust me, skipping this step can turn your puree into cranberry soup, and we are not making soup today. Once the cranberries are soft, I remove the pan from the heat and use an immersion blender to puree the mixture until smooth. If I'm using a regular immersion blender, I let the mixture cool slightly before blending to avoid splatters. If the puree seems too thick, add a teaspoon of water at a time while blending until you reach your desired consistency. But be careful, too much water can dilute the flavor, and we want this puree bold and vibrant. Once blended, I pour the mixture through a fine mesh strainer over a large mixing bowl, pressing it through with a silicone spatula to remove any remaining chunks and ensure a smooth, silky texture. I let the puree cool completely before using it in the buttercream. This is crucial. If the puree is too warm, it can melt the butter, causing the buttercream to separate and become too soft to pipe properly. If you're using this puree in frostings or sauces, straining is a must for that luxurious texture. But if you're using it for fillings or spreads, you can skip this step for a bit more texture. Once my puree is smooth and cool, I transfer it to an airtight container. It stays fresh in the refrigerator for up to a week, or I can freeze it for up to 3 months. Little tip: want to make life easier? Freeze the puree in an ice cube tray. Once frozen, transfer the cubes to a freezer-safe bag and thaw only what you need. No waste, no mess. This cranberry puree is super versatile. It's perfect for buttercream, cheesecakes, pancakes, cocktails, or even drizzling over waffles. Basically, if it needs a burst of tart-sweet goodness, this puree is the answer. And there you have it, homemade cranberry puree in just minutes. It's simple, versatile, and packed with flavor. Try it out and let me know in the comments how you're using it. Another tip: want to take it to the next level? Try simmering the cranberries with a splash of orange juice or a pinch of cinnamon for a festive twist. And if you're looking for the perfect way to use this puree, stay tuned. In my next video, I'll show you how to whip up a luscious cranberry buttercream that pairs beautifully with cakes, cookies, and more. See you there.